you need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be there'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for that, got to have a proper digital infrastructure. And many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries.
Yes, we have two situations to look into this clip. The first being this, the second of this. There is this questions a lot of people are asking, why is Bill Gates buying up all these food and drink companies? He should be questioned and watched. His intentions are never good. A lot of people are questioning why Bill Gates is buying up all these brewery companies. What is going on?
And billionaire Bill Gates is not a beer fan. He's not a big beer drinker, he said earlier, but he finds value in buying share of such companies. Bill Gates has bought now over 3.7% stake in Dutch drink giant Heineken Holding. Gates has purchased shares from Mexico's FEMSA, which is selling out of brewing company. The filing by the Netherlands Financial Markets Authority said shares were purchased on 17th of this month. Heineken Holdings owns a controlling stake in brewer Heineken Article Prom Devices. It's a separate filing that's on 15th of Feb showed FEMSA has sold all 18 million shares it held in Heineken Holdings. Gates has purchased 10.8 million shares worth 883 million euros or $939 million at current market prices. It has triggered a disclosure agreement on the Dutch stock market rules. In a 2018 Ask Me Anything chat session, Gates earlier said he was not a big beer drinker, but it has now bought stake in a beer company.
Yeah, and events at AU Summit. And it's sometimes.
Recently, according to this article published by Riostat, Bill Gates buys Heineken stake despite saying he is not a big beer drinker. Bill Gates has bought 3.76 stake in Dutch drinks giant Heineken. The billionaire founder of Microsoft has previously said he was not a big beer drinker. The filing by the Netherlands Financial Market Authority said the shares were purchased on February 7. Heineken Holding owns a controlling stake in brewery Heineken. Gates purchased the shares from Mexico, which is selling out of the brewery company. A separate filing, also dated February 17, show FMSA sold all 18 million shares it held in Heineken Holding. Gates purchased 10.8 million shares worth 883 million euros at current market prices, triggering a disclosure requirement under Dutch stock market rules. In a 2018 Ask Me Anything chat sessions on Reddit, Gates said he was not a big beer drinker. When I end up at something like a baseball game, I drink light beer to get with the vibe of all the other beer drinkers. Sorry to disappoint real beer drinker. Now the questions a lot of people are asking, why is he doing this? For profit or what exactly? That is a question I can't answer. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this clip?
Where does Britain find its niche in this new world? So this isn't utopian. This is real world things that are happening. And the country's got to, in a sense, what we're trying to do is to say to the political class, look, I know all the other issues you're talking about and all the usual events, crises and scandals that come in and out of the political scene every day. But if you're thinking about the long-term future of this country, its economy, its public services, how we find our, as I say, our place in this new world, this is what you've got to concentrate on, because it's this that will determine whether you succeed or fail. Technology's changed. I mean, technology is a world away from what it was back in the days when we were having those debates. And if you look around the world today, countries are moving to digital ID as a way of enabling their citizens to engage with government and, of course, to conduct their business. And already people do so much digitally. And this is part of a much bigger package that William and I have put forward in this paper. It's is 50 pages long, but don't get put off by that. There's a list of recommendations at the top of it. And really what we're trying to say is the real world event today is this technology revolution, and it's the 21st century equivalent of the Industrial Revolution. And unless we as a country understand, and the politics of the country understand this revolution and try and harness it properly, then we're going to get left behind.
William Hague, is it fair for, I mean, clearly we want to be technologically articulate in the future, but there are some people who will say, well, hang on a second, does the government have a good record when it comes to gathering our data and keeping it safe?
Well, that will be a very important consideration. Of course, as Tony was just explaining, there are reports about dozens of other things as well as that. But one of the ways to redesign the state around technology is to make sure this is the way that you show your identity. People are having to do that in so many different ways at the moment. And Estonia, for instance, has created a very good system of this. People are saving, on average, about 5 working days of their time. Because they don't have to come up with all the other ways of showing their identity. But it then allows government to organize itself to have more personal.
Yes, tracking our personal information has been something they have been advocating for some time. Tony Blair has been advocating for this for some time. You have seen at the beginning of this clip where at the World Economic Forum, he mentioned this, that they need to have this that will be able to identify who is facts and who is not. Now, the UK is going full swing into this. They had a discussions about this like you have seen here. I did a similar video in Canada where Justin Trudeau is stating this with healthcare. If you don't do this, you will not have that, which is something I don't see to be okay. You cannot force everybody, to accept this. It is not right. Not everyone would like to have this digital ID stuff, but the way they are doing it, it will be compulsory for everybody. According to this article published by Independent, her record, tax return, time detained at His Majesty's pleasure, property owned on the land registry, motoring and other offences, children and ex-wife, educational attainment, salary saving, what you spend on your petrol. The absolute lot could, in theory, be tracked, aggregated with everyone else, analyzed, and perhaps even so, either as data set or as an individual data.
What these digital IDs will actually entail when it comes to control. Here's an overview basically of everything that will be included in the digital IDs. This can be found on the WEF website and also on all of the provincial and government websites. You will have healthcare. You will not be able to access any healthcare without this digital ID. Financial system. You will actually not even be able to carry out bank accounts or carry out anything online regarding financial transactions. Food and sustainability. This says for farmers and consumers, you will not be able to get into stores. You will not be able to even sell anywhere. Once they have this system in place, this is where the digital currency will come in. Travel and mobility. We saw that with the Arrive scam app. Humanitarian responses, which is basically just garbage. It's in case something happens, they will be able to track and find you, including if you don't want anything injected in your body. E-commerce. You will not be able to shop online. Then you have social media platforms. You will literally need this ID in order to get TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook. No more fake accounts. You have e-government. So if you want your taxes done, any sort of benefits from there, you will need this. Then it gets even scarier. Telecommunications. You will not be able to actually get an internet provider without this digital ID, and they will be able to track you. And then up there you have smart cities, and we all know what those are.